Okay guys, this is part 2, factorizing by grouping. Grouping means putting two terms together which have something in common. If they do not have anything in common, do not group them. You only group something which have something in common. For example, 5mn plus 25m plus 3n to the power 3 plus 15n squared. So I can clearly see that these two terms have something in common. 5 can go in 25, that's fine. M and n, that's fine, which means I can put this in group. So therefore, if I look at this one also, they have something in common. 3 can go in 15, which means that is common. N, that is common. It means I can also put this in group. So now, how do we factorize by grouping? This is just a repetition of simple factorization. So let's ignore this part. Let's focus on this one only. So if we look at this one, let's factorize this one. Factorize by grouping. The highest common factor of 5 and 25 is 5. The letter appearing on both sides is m, 5m. So then I open my bracket. How do I get what to be inside the bracket? I need to divide everything by 5m. 5m cancel. I'm left with n. Positive 25 divided by 5. This gives me positive 5. M will cancel. Close the bracket. So I'm done with this part. Let me now come to this part. Now, the next thing is pull down this sign to come here. Next, the highest common factor of 3 and 15 is 3. The letter appearing on both sides, n, but then n to the power 3, n to the power 2. Remember, you always pick the letter with the smallest power. In this case, n to the power 2. Open my bracket. Next, I divide everything by 3n to the power 2. 3n to the power 2. So 3 by 3, it cancels. It gives me 1. And then n to the power 3 divided by n to the power 2, I subtract 3 minus 2 is 1, which means it's just n. Then positive 15 divided by 3, that gives me positive 5. N to the power 2, n to the power 2 cancel. So it means I'm almost done. Then I just have to write my answer. Now, how do I write my answer? If you check what is here and what is here, it's identical, which means I only pick one. So I write n plus 5. And then I need to write this thing here to form another bracket. 5m plus 3n squared. So that is my answer. So that is how to factorize by grouping. Right? So now you have the idea. So let's do one more example. So let's say, for example, if we have 12a to the power 3 minus 9a squared plus 4a minus 3. As usual, let's see if there's something common. So if I check here, 12 and 9, yes, there's something common. I know that 3 can go here, can also go here. A, so it means that is common, so it means I can group it. 4a3, this one there's nothing common, but the good thing is these two, they have something in common, which is not a problem. So let's move on. The highest common factor of 3, so let's also put this in group. The highest common factor of 12 and 9 is 3. The letter appearing on both sides, a cubed, a squared, it means I take a squared, the smallest power, open my bracket. I divide everything by what is outside, 3a squared, 3a squared. 12 divided by 3, it gives me 4. A to the power 3 divided by a to the power 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, it means a to the power 1. Negative 9 divided by 3, this gives me negative 3. a to the power 2, a to the power 2 will cancel. Done with that one. Let me come to this part. Always pull down that sign, plus. So if I look at here, 4 and 3, the highest common factor is 1. The letter appearing on both sides, nothing, so which means it's just 1. So I write 1. I open my bracket. If I divide everything by 1, 4a by 1, 4a. Negative 3 divided by 1, negative 3. So if you check what is inside my bracket is identical as usual, then my final answer is I pick one of these, 4a minus 3. And then I pick this. This is another bracket, 3a squared plus 1. So that becomes my answer. So the point is, what if now I'm given something which looks like this? If I'm given, let's say letter C, I'm given something which looks like this, 7xy minus 3n minus x plus 21ny. Right, so let me start grouping first. Right, so to put them in groups, if I check here, 7, 3, nothing identical. The letters, there's nothing. There's nothing identical between this one and this one. So which means I cannot group that one. But I can see x and x, they are identical, n and n, they are identical, which means I need to rearrange it. So this one comes to the friend where there is n, and this one comes to the friend where there is x. So therefore I'm going to have 7xy minus x plus 21ny minus, this is minus 3n. So now this one, there's something identical, there's something identical. So it means I can now group them like this. So when I now group them like that, I can now start factorizing one bracket in the other bracket. All right, so therefore I can now start. Let me create a space here. So 7 and 1, the highest common factor of 7 and 1 is 1, so I write 1. So 1, and then the letter appearing on both sides is x. Open my bracket. So to get what will be inside the bracket, I need to divide everything by x. So I divide by x, divide by x. So this x will cancel, and this one will give me 1. So therefore I'm left with 7y, because this x will cancel. Then I have 7y, and then negative 1, because x gives me 1, it gives me negative 1. Close the bracket. Let me come here. So the highest common factor of 21 and 3 is 3. So remember, we pull down this sign to come here. Comes there. And then 21 and 3 is 3. The letter appearing on both sides, that is n. I open my bracket. And then I divide everything by 3n. So 3n, 3n. So this one will give me 1. And 21 divided by 3, that gives me 7. So 7, n will cancel, and then I'm left with y. Then minus negative 3n divided by 3n, that gives me negative 1. So now if you check what is inside the bracket, is identical. So therefore I pick 1. Then the other bracket will be x plus 3n. That's all, guys. So there's nothing that examiners will ask when they are dealing with factorizing by grouping. So learn this one and make sure you master it. Let's wait for the next video, which is part 3, that is factorizing quadratic equation.